The interview heard around the world a little less than 24 hours after Prince Harry and Meghan Markle sat down for a tell-all interview with Oprah. The question now is, now what? So here to help us break down a lot of what was said is author Daniel P.T. Thomas of Chincoteague. He has ties to England, and he's our go-to for all things royal family. Daniel, it's great to have you here. Gut reaction to the interview. What do you think? A little less than 24 hours after Prince Harry and Meghan Markle sat down for a tell-all interview with Oprah. The question now is, now what? So here to help us break down a lot of what was said is author Daniel P.T. Thomas of Chincoteague. He has ties to England, and he's our go-to for all things royal family. Daniel, it's great to have you here. Gut reaction to the interview. What do you think?
Nice to be back, first of all. Thank you. I think that people are seeing this, from what I'm understanding, it's just like people are having two sides to this. The British press are going crazy. A lot of people, there's all kinds of stuff going on. I think the royal family will probably close ranks a little bit on this. People are saying it's very hurtful. It could end up being a very sort of undignified tit-for-tat discussion between, Harry and Meghan and them. The thing one has to remember is that they're free to do what they like at this point. They're not bound to the royal family protocol. They were able to do this interview. As far as I know, it was not for pay. They wanted to get this story across, and now that it's all out, and there's more to come, I gather, there's people are taking sides a little bit, and some people are reacting differently. So it's been a very interesting thing. It reminds me of the 1995 Diana interview that took place for the BBC many years back.
Yeah, and what do you think people are reacting to the most?
There's some shock about certain things, such as various reveals like the color of Archie's skin, which I thought was an interesting discussion. I think there are people who are sympathizing with Meghan and her understanding of lack of support during her time with the royal family. There are people who are sympathizing, and then there are others who, the press in the UK is reacted pretty badly to it all. I think the Express, I was reading this morning, the Express newspaper said they should lose their citizenship, which is a little bit crazy. And other people are saying, well, if they wanted their privacy, why does the world need to know about this now? Why are they suddenly not being private? There's all these little questions coming up now about this whole thing. And some people are saying it's an exercise in torching the Windsors. So on it goes. It's the crown come to life. It's the ever-growing saga. Yeah.
Yeah, and so do you see the royal family coming out with, will they come out with an article? Are they going to say some things? What do you think is going to happen?
I think they're going to stick very much to a conservative response. I think they're not going to react. You got to remember that the firm, as it's called, is very protocol orientated. They're going to take some time to understand what this means. They've got to safeguard their image. They've got to safeguard everything about the royal family. So they're going to play down, for example, some of this rift between William and Charles now with Harry and the unsettling of the relationship. They're going to play it down. They do not want any more drama than it's already happened.
Yeah, exactly. That was my next question. What do you think the big takeaway is regarding Harry's current relationship with his family back in England? What do you think that kind of is right now?
I think Harry, as he said, he feels he was let down by his father, Prince Charles. I think it's a little harsh sometimes, when he said, I think his father wasn't calling him. Us parents, and I'm a parent myself, we don't always call our children back. But I don't know what circumstances that was with. I do know that Charles probably wasn't able to assist with some of the narrative, because you got to remember, he's controlled by the institution himself. So he can't necessarily pick up the phone and go, hey, Harry, everything's cool, don't worry. He's got to stick to a certain script as well. So, but I do think there's some real concern there. I think that there's some rifts that have started to occur, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Do you think that any part of Diana's story inspired them to talk?
Absolutely.
Really?
Totally. Yeah, I think for Harry, this is a big thing. He's desperate to stop history repeating itself. You know, you think about how Diana was accepted initially and then shunned, and what she went through. I mean, even Meghan, I think when she joined, as far as I'm aware, she joined the royal family. She had a driving license taken away, her passport. You know, she was basically, you know, owned by the firm. She was taken in. Now, I do understand the good things coming out, and there are a lot of good things, is that the Queen and Meghan seem to get on well, and that's a good thing. And she did talk about that, so that's a very positive thing.
And you talked about, you know, the Queen and Meghan having a good relationship, but there was what came out about her and Kate Middleton.
The press in the UK had this way of, how can I say, describing Meghan and Kate in different ways. I mean, it's kind of the hero and the villain. They will do what they can to protect Kate. And although I have to say, Kate was vilified quite a bit too during her earlier days. But then they went away from it because I think they realized that Kate was going to become something. Not that Meghan hasn't. It's just that Meghan has been seen as almost a bit like a Wallace Simpson type of figure sometimes. And obviously the race card doesn't help matters at all. So, yeah, I think Meghan's really come out on the short end of this in terms of the way she's been treated both internally by the institution, but also by the press. She's really had a rough time of it.
Do you see them being welcomed back to England with open arms ever, or, you know, what's the future look like?
What do we say? Sometimes, you know, when people say, do you remember what happened when Charles treated Diana the way he did? And so many people have forgotten that, especially the younger generation. I think over time, yes, I think they will work out whatever they need to work out. But you've got to remember now that the royal family has somewhat been branded sort of racists and uncaring. So that's the immediate reaction right now. And so this is a very sore moment. You know, it's not a tough time to be doing this. And, you know, you've got people who will say that they should have just been private and kept it the way it was. And others who basically have said, no, they should have shared their story. So it's going to go on for quite a bit. But I do think over time, the fact that the Queen has been very forthcoming with Meghan particularly, that's a good sign.
And another positive to the interview, I know there was a lot of, you know, a lot of things were said. We found out the baby's gender.
Yes, I know, yeah.
We did find out they're having a girl.
Yeah, isn't that great? So that's another good thing. Yeah, there's good things that come out of it. I think sharing one's private life, though, I don't know. I'm on the fence, and I'm far from me to make any opinions on all of this, but it is interesting to see it all happening again. It's like another playback with Diana.
Yeah, absolutely. Author Daniel P.T. Thomas, we are always so thankful for your insight. You just provide so much. So thank you so much for making time for us today.
You're very welcome, and wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, Lisa?
Wow, Daniel always has such interesting insight.